I just figured, why not do one of the 1 hour endurance races on the driving missions? And I figured for a bit of fun, why not do the Kei Car races? For those who don't know, Kei cars are the small little Japanese cars that are they usually have about 600cc engines. But anyways, it's at the Autopolis racing course in Japan, and it's got heavy fuel and tyre wear rate. You start 16th out of 20th, and we're in the Suzuki Cappuccino, probably my favourite K car, just because it has quite possibly the best name ever. Like, why would you not want something that's called a cappuccino? I mean, I don't even like coffee, but the name is it's just brilliant. Probably because it's small and punchy. I don't know. Like I said, I don't like coffee, so I don't know if that's what a cappuccino is. But anyways, we're going to be going around Autopolis for an hour against other K cars. First place, however, wins us 500,000 credits. The PP limit is 400, and I've upgraded the car as much as I can to be 399.41. So, let's just get straight into it. Let's get stuck in. Of course, we're not going to win the race in the first corner because, you know, it's an hour-long race. Gotta get our fuel map on the go. Oh, almost outbraking ourselves there. I think the rules stated that you can only use Comfort Soft as well. So we're literally using the softest tyres available in the entire game. Which means they're probably going to wear out really quickly as we're catching a couple of Honda Beats on the inside of one, switching to the other side, almost getting Wilk in the yellow one. So a full tank, according to the fuel map, can last maybe about 10 laps. Whether or not given what the cars were in, that'll only be the entire race, I doubt it, but past the game, but we're going to go back for the overtake. It's just a drag race down the hill, but we do have the inside line for the corner. Brake a little later. Didn't actually mean to drive into him there, but you know what? It's an AI, I guess. They don't have feelings. That was a bit wide there. That's going to slow us down a little. It looks like now we're catching a flurry of Daihatsu Copans. I think there's about 3 or 4 of them in front of us, maybe even more. I feel like to avoid being overtaken, we're going to have to try and utilise the slipstream. Just to try and give us some kind of chance to keep up, because I mean I think I've upgraded the car obviously as much as I can because the PP limit is 400 and I'm at 399.4, so there isn't really a lot else I can do, but we've pulled away from those Honda Beats at least. Now we're, as I said, catching up to quite a big chain of Daihatsu Copans. I think the Daihatsus are heaviest of the Kei cars, if I'm honest. They're certainly the biggest. Unless if we're counting the Suzuki Jimny, if any of those are in this race. I don't know whether they are or not. There we go, that's a move for 13th position. Gonna have a look at the inside of Mangano, which then becomes the outside. That's us up into 12th place now. Just gonna keep the power down, but obviously not too much because we're not in a rally car. Although that would be pretty insane, a Suzuki Cappuccino rally car. I mean, unfortunately I couldn't put NOS on the car because the event restricts it, so we can't have any Fast and Furious NOS effects. We are going to get driven into though by the car behind, so there is that. It's okay because of the agility of the Cappuccino. I can just practically take most of these corners flat. I mean, I would really like to dispatch of these copings as quickly as possible. Obviously, I know the race is an hour long, but if we can get them out of the way as fast as possible, then we can just, you know, focus on the leaders, who have already gone on to lap 3 now. At this point, it's just trying to find a slipstream to stay in. That was a daring move, but it didn't work. That's cost us dearly. So now we're all the way back behind these copings. I honestly thought I would have got that stopped in time. Oh dear. Still a long way to go, and we are catching them again, so hopefully that won't affect the race too much. Although the car does have a lot of body, given how small it is, and it's on like bicycle thin tyres. But those leaders are certainly getting away at the moment. The good news is we've got a clear gap to the cars behind, and we have caught back up to the copings after our little trip to the gravel trap on the first corner. Hopefully we won't make that mistake again. Not when we're about 21 seconds behind the leader. We don't need to be making those mistakes. try and make us go the long way round. I don't think we're quite close enough for that. We are now. I think Mangano just got a bit of deja vu with that move. We got past him in the same way a few laps ago, in the exact same corner. Anyway, let's try and work our way through these. Especially after when we dispose of these 4 or 5 cars in front of us, then there's a bit of a gap to the next single car, and then there's another big gap to the other guys at the front. I mean, maybe I could have put a wing on it, maybe I should have. But it would just be funny to just have it look a complete stock cappuccino, but just with all the power upgrades and the brake upgrades, of course. I have upgraded the brakes, so I can actually stop. So we're making a move from 10th place now. That was a tidy move, to be fair. That wasn't bad. So on our fuel map we've got about another 7 laps left, and this is on like the full power mix, so that's about 11 laps per stint, give or take. So we can imagine the first stop would probably be around lap 10 or 11. Also depending as well if the tyres want to hang on. As I can just hear a couple of Daihatsus behind me, just eager to get past. And there's a random Honda Beat up here too. Most of those are at the back, but it's fine because that wasn't a bad double overtake, to be fair. I think we're also just about to run into our first Honda S600 up there in 5th position, the bright red one. Let's see, what can we do? What can we do at this hairpin? Can we do anything? But we can extend our gap on the car behind, briefly. Borrow as much of the curb as possible in every corner. If it makes you faster. Okay, so one more position would get us a silver trophy, which is obviously this red Honda in front of us here. And we're just over half a tank of fuel. Not a bad recovery so far. So it is just 2 cars that have shot off into the lead then. Because 5th, 4th and 3rd are like practically right in front of us. Like we can see them visually on the screen with our own eyes. Because 3rd has just gone into that right-hander there. So it's closer than I thought. I'm just curious what cars first and second are in, because it's all going to come down to fuel usage as well. Who can stay out the longest, I'd imagine, and there's 5th place. If the drivers use the same cars as to what they usually do on the world circuits, then if I recall correctly, I know Fraga also uses a cappuccino. I just can't remember what first and second use, if it is the same as that. Might also be cappuccinos. That was a good line through that hairpin actually. We've taken a bit of time out of Yamanaka. Gap's just over a second now. It's too deep into the corner though, I didn't like that, and yeah, we've given the place away. But we could stick it, we could try and stick it on the outside, which becomes the inside. Okay, so we've gotten ourselves up to 4th. Three seconds behind. Igor Fraga in 3rd. At least we made the corner that time, but we've lost place again. Looking at it, I start to believe the Daihatsu Copen was probably the best car to use. I keep getting overtaken by them all the time. But the mighty Cappuccino should not be defeated easily. If we could get up to 3rd, that would be great. And avoid that for a brief moment. I am Hurricane Triad. I'm a cheeky little sausage, yes. If that's what you want me to be, that's what I'll be. Well, that was a good run out of that corner, actually. We've gained quite a lot of time on 3rd place. It's just a shame our bicycle thin tyres can't grip anything. There's a chance here into this corner. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Thank you. Go, Cappuccino, go. Only 21 seconds behind 2nd place. They're about 3 corners in front, 2.5, because they're halfway round it, I guess, I don't know. Also doesn't help that our car is 2 seconds slower than the leader, I'm going to hate that coping by the end of this race. I'm also going to hate the man who drives it. In fact, I'm not even going to give it its name anymore. It's that annoying. The car doesn't deserve to be called by its name anymore. I'm just going to call it it. Now can we please put whatever power down you have, car, please? It gave you a fully race-ready turbocharger as well. And you're not using it. He's just gone up the inside there, fair enough, but I'm going to cut back. Whoa. Nearly killed us there, Fraga. Calm down a little bit, man. Do you realise how small these death traps are? Could have busted my legs if I'd gone head on into the wall because of you. We are making considerable time up at the corners. We're making like 2/10 per corner. Okay, the leaders, the first two cars are coming, so we can overcut here if we stay out. Which we can, because we've still got another 3 laps of fuel left. And the tyres are meh for what they are, so we can attempt an overcut. There we go, we've taken the lead, they're refueling now, so we've got a few laps to try and build a gap and not make any stupid mistakes or get harassed by any of the Daihatsu Copens, because there's a lot of them. Although that front left tyre is looking pretty bad though. But it's still good enough. We're still making time. That's the important part, so long as we're making time and not losing time. It's nice to be out in the lead for a change. See what this car can finally do in some clean air. Because obviously, it's basically a Formula 1 car, you know. It can be a Formula 1 car if it wants to be a Formula 1 car. So the leaders I think the leaders were Gallo and Miyazono. So we'll have to try and figure out what the gap is from us to them, realistically, because when I pit, I don't know whether I'll still be like right with them or if there'll still be a gap. But definitely for fuel usage though, I think I've got the better car. Because if it can last about 10 or 11 laps compared to their 8, and if they're only taking on half tanks as well, then they'll be pitting every like 4 or 5 laps. Our best time is now 1.3 slower than the leader. So they might have the fastest car, they don't have the most economical. And I feel like it's going to be a battle of economy. borrowing all of the curb at every given opportunity. If it makes us faster, then we'll do it. Gotta hit those apexes, you know. The good news is we are increasing our gap on the car behind. We're now 9 seconds clear, which is very good. And we've gone about 24 minutes. So we've already nearly covered just under half of this race on a single tank of fuel at the moment. So obviously I don't think we're going to reach half, obviously not. I feel like a pit stop's going to be coming either at the end of this lap or the end of next lap, if we can make it. But we're definitely going to be stopping a lot less than the people that were starting the race in the lead. So if we can continuously overcut, then great. Because that would work in our favour in the sense that, well, if we've gone 25 minutes on one set, then if all goes well, in theory, we should only have to stop one more time at roughly the 50-minute mark. So I think we can push one more lap. I think we'll have to box next lap, as we're actually quite close to the fastest lap of the race there. So if we box at the end of this lap for new tyres and more fuel, the second and third have boxed. So now we're actually going to get the gap for the leaders, because those two are obviously, I wouldn't say they're not in this race, but our leaders was Gallo and Miyazono, and the gap's about 26 seconds. So I think we should be right with them when we leave the pits, I would imagine. But now that front left is looking really worse for wear. But if we keep pushing our gap, then we might even come out like either just behind them or even like in between them. We don't need to worry about changing our fuel map because we have a lap left, and obviously we've nearly finished this lap, so we don't need to save any fuel if we're going to refuel anyway. But yeah, it's going to be a close one for the pit stops to see what happens. But 27 minutes on a single stint, that's pretty good for us, because that would indicate one more stop towards the end of the race, and by then I would imagine the others probably would have already stopped at least once or twice more, depending on how much fuel they've taken and how they're using their tyres. Oh, I forgot there's a chicane at the start of this pit lane. And I clipped the wall. That was probably not the cleanest entry into the pits, but I don't think it's cost us too much time. It's just when our car finally gets into the pit box, which it is now, gonna have to be quick. Just gone past, so we're gonna come out behind those two. But we are going to take a full tank, I think, so we can just push later on. But we should be good to come out in third. It'll be close, but I think we've got third. There we go, 11 laps per stint. What's our gap to second place? It's about 12 seconds. I think we can make that up on track. 12 or 13 seconds. It's definitely doable. Especially on fresh tyres. I mean, who knows? But this is roughly where we want to be, because that means we've cleared all the traffic. We don't really have to worry about anyone behind us, unless if we made a silly mistake, but we are still increasing our gap to those behind, so we're in a good spot after our first stop. That and this car feels good in the corners. It feels really good in the corners. It might not have the straight line speed, but it's definitely got the cornering ability to make up the time where it loses on the straights, that's for sure. As I've just seen second place actually at the bottom of this hill, so let's see how much time we can take out on our out lap. We've already got the gap down to 12. It was about 13 when we exited the pits. I mean, this is the part of the track where my car just loves. It just loves this part of the track. Just eats the corners up for breakfast. Okay, so on our out lap, we have gone from 13 seconds to about 9.5. It's about 4 seconds a lap. I mean, if this track was just all corners and no long straight lines, then we would be right with them in a couple laps' time. I mean, we still can be. It'll just take a bit longer because of the straights, but we're definitely in with a shout of passing them on track, actually, rather than waiting for their second pit stop. Gap down to about 8 seconds now, so that's another second roughly taken out of the leaders. We're about 14 seconds clear of 4th place. Well, there they are, and there they go. That was first and second down at the bottom of the hill. The good thing is as well, is if we can go that deep on a stick, then that means for our second stop we won't need to necessarily fill the tank all the way to the top, because that would just make us slower. If we've got a full tank, then we won't need a full tank. If there'll be about 5 or so minutes of the lap left, then it would just be unnecessary weight at that moment. I think for now we've just got to think about plugging lap times in. Taking the gap now to about 5.5. We're definitely getting quicker, that's for sure. Sono, I'm coming for you, mate. I'm going to make you so terrified of a small Suzuki you'll never want to get into a car ever again. 3/10 out of that sector, that's very good. That's very good speed. Yeah, I think the final section of the track, so this part, these parts here, this is where my car really comes alive, because it's just so agile, it's so nimble around the corners as well. Go, look at that. Gap is less than 2 seconds now. Oof. 2/10 off the fastest lap of the race as well. We're flying now. I think we could probably get past him this lap if we get close enough in the tight sections. Oh, we've got purple first sector. It's good for us. But I think we can get past it, you know. We're a lot closer than I thought we would be, but can we make a move on him around this part, around this corner? Ooh, just about. No contact as well, just about. Although he is going to have the inside line for the next corner, so I should probably get off those curbs. Stick with him, getting the slipstream. That's what we need. This is good stuff. There we go, that's second place. Another Honda, one of the new ones, the S600, that bright yellow one, and I think we're going to have him too, I hope. So we didn't even need the pit stops to take back the position, but I feel like their tyres are probably a lot worse than ours, or they've probably got a lot less fuel as well. They're still staying out. Tiny bit quicker there from us. And we are going to lose the position on the straight, but that's just naturally because his car is a bit quicker. What with it being newer and all that, but Doesn't mean we won't fight him. I mean, there's this good information as well for the end of the race. How many laps it will take us to catch up to them. That's taken us about 4 or 5. Oh, he's gone very wide. We'll take that inside line. Thank you very much. Pull a gap out a bit on second, just so we don't have to worry about them into the next corner. That's about a second. Can't really make a move from back there, I don't think, but neither can we on the car in front. I did see some back markers though. Be interesting whether they get in the way or not. Hopefully they don't get in our way, but we'll see, we'll see. Because they don't respond well to blue flags. They're not the best, but you come to lap them and they'll still stay on the racing line. Cars are coming into pit. Fair enough, he just thought he'd get out of the way. Didn't want to be part of us. Thought I heard another car. Thought I heard him coming up. Okay, so the first of a few at the bottom end of the top 8 are coming into a second stop. Which would probably suggest that the front runners, that back marker's really helped us actually. We can pass them both with it. Oh, thank you, Simmons. Just casually getting in the way, thank you back marker. Further proof that the back markers just don't respond to a blue flag. But we got ahead briefly, which is good, I suppose. Because it also slows them down a little bit, I guess. In fact, we're all just slowing each other down. Because we're just getting in each other's way. Okay, the leader's pitting. I'm assuming third places as well. He is. Cool. Now we just got to push again. Now we just got to push for another 5 or so laps. back marker there definitely helped us out a bit, in the sense that it slowed the leader down, and we managed to sneak past for even a brief moment. So we're now 31 seconds clear of second place. Bear in mind he hasn't stopped, I don't think. Got 16 minutes left of this race. Definitely a future classic race for sure. You know, up there with the likes of I don't know, Abu Dhabi 2021. Definitely up there with the likes of that for sure. So the gap behind now is about 35 seconds. We're still getting quicker on our personal best at least. Maybe not the fastest lap, but definitely on our personal best. We're now just about a tenth away from the fastest lap. I mean, do we really need it? I mean, it'd be cool to get it. Whether or not our car actually can get it or not, I don't think it can. Simply because it lacks power on the straight, but we get a purple again in sector 1. So if we can build our gap, I would say to roughly about 40 seconds, then that might give us a safe enough pit stop. We're nearly there, we're nearly at 40, but of course I'm not too sure because obviously the tyres get changed first, then the fuel gets put in afterwards, but that's what I'm thinking about, because obviously it doesn't happen all at the same time, so maybe 40 to 45 seconds. I mean, we've still got about 4 laps to eke out that big of a gap. I mean, granted we're at 41 now, but it'll be a bit too early to stop now, I think. Away, we did it, we got the fastest lap at last. Totally wasn't targeting that for the past 18 laps, but we finally got fastest lap, hooray! we're still going faster. Beneficial for us as well that the cars that are currently in second and third haven't stopped just yet, purely because it's slowing down the other cars and it's wearing out their fresher tyres, which in turn is allowing us to increase the gap to whatever we need it to be to actually come out of the pits hopefully in first position. So long as they're wearing their tyres out and we're keeping ours at a reasonably managed pace, you know, no unnatural wear, then, you know, there's no reason for us to pit at a different time than when we need to pit. Wouldn't it be funny if we took the fastest lap again? By a whole second this time. Okay, so right now our gap is 47 seconds. I think that might be good enough, regardless now of if we pit this lap or next lap. I think I'll still push for the next lap, because things still feel good. Someone else just pitted and dropped away out the top 8, don't know who that was, but it doesn't matter. Very, very bright blue Honda Beat. I say catching, we're not quite with him yet, so... Oh, I didn't think we'd be so far ahead, especially after our little excursion into the gravel trap at the very... I think it was literally on like lap 2 or something. Because I think we went 3 wide with 2 other cars and I just overshot it. I didn't think we'd end up having a 50-second gap almost, but I would say it's a fairly decent recovery drive. Fairly decent recovery drive we've had. 7 minutes left on the clock now. I think we'd definitely be pit at the end of this lap, that's for sure. I don't think we're going to need new tyres, of course, again, because the front left gets heavily worn on this track. It's in really bad shape. As third and fourth finally pit, they were the ones that were actually holding up genuine second place, who's 51 seconds behind, so I think we've got a good window. Sugawara and Kawakami, I thank you both for your services, for slowing the other two down. Heroes in my eyes, thank you very much, you two. But yeah, we'll probably need like, about half a tank, a new set of tyres and half a tank. Because I mean, if a lap was taking about 2.5 minutes, and if there's about 5.5 minutes left, we'll need enough laps to enough fuel to complete just like 3 more laps. So we've definitely got first place secured. I hope we don't crash into the chicane at the start of the pit lane though, like we did last time. Definitely don't want to do that again. That was a slight bit of embarrassment for us there, but hopefully we can get over our pit lane fears and actually drive in properly this time. Especially with a 51-second gap, we shouldn't really be panicking. Going to need some new tyres and a bit of a hydration break at the same time. Here we go. That'll do, that'll do. That'll do for fuel. And the little Chihuahua is away again. 4 minutes 25. That's about 2 laps. So I think we've got the spot on. This is good news. In fact, we've actually still emerged from a 22.5 second gap. Maybe our driver actually could have gotten out and had a cup of tea. I don't know. Although questions would be asked why we have just a random cup of tea set out in the back of the garages. Anyway, that doesn't matter. The tea can happen afterwards, and we can drink it out of the trophy. Forget the champagne. We'll have PG tips instead. I'm fully aware actually that's a missed opportunity to make a coffee joke, considering the car is with a cappuccino. Oh well. I think when we cross the line, next lap will be our last lap, purely because there's only 2.5 minutes left, and the lap around here in this is about 2.5 minutes, so lap 24 is going to be the final lap. We could just cruise to the finish line if we wanted to. Here we go. I'm assuming this will be the final lap of the race. So we're catching up to another slow car. another Honda Beat. The Honda Beats haven't had a good time here, actually. I think they've been the slowest car around here. On average, most of them I think have been at the back. In fact, I don't actually think I've seen another cappuccino. I thought I would have. I don't think there's actually been another cappuccino in this race. I could be wrong, but not like it matters, because the only thing that matters is our cappuccino is going to come and win this race. What a race it's been, though. As I said, we've gone from struggling with the Copens into the gravel trap, struggling with the Copens again. It's just been some sort of mega recovery drive. Then we got helped out by the fact that two of them actually were slowing down the genuine second and third place car just by staying out on the track longer. So yeah, this has actually been quite an epic little race, to be honest. I've still got 7 more to do. Of course, I'm not going to do them all tonight, but I'll be doing them, and I'll probably live them, because I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this one, that's for sure. Here we go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Around the final corner and across the line. What a race. Managed 24 laps around there. That wasn't too bad. And that's a very, very nice 500,000 credits coming our way. Wowies. What a race. Oh no, wait, 1.2 million. I'll take that too. I'll take that as well. What a race. What a race. Well, I for one thoroughly enjoyed that race, and I'm glad that whoever stopped by, all of the people who stopped by, at least for even a moment, I appreciate that. And I also appreciate the fact that we all got to experience such a fun little event in such a fun little car. But yeah, I'll definitely do all these others as well. But until then, it is goodbye from me.